Guys, welcome back to the channel. It is more Phoenix Wright Justice for All. Last time, May got taken in because she killed someone. The question is, do we properly actually do have an insanity plea? Like, I'm very curious about that. What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean?
No, I heard it's No, I heard it's his successor this time.
Successor? And Wright Von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, also he could win. He did also murder a dude. Like, are we just gonna forget that aspect? He murdered someone, orchestrated a second murder, so that he could blame a child, then trying to get the child to say that he killed his own father. Are we forgetting this manipulation that, like, is on par with One for All for One? Fuck. Are we forgetting that?
He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts.
Considering that in retaliation to possibly losing, or at least, like, it wasn't a clean sweep, he killed a man.
And now his successor, I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be.
I think I've already been spoiled by this. I think I've already been spoiled by his successor. For the sole fact of someone using it as, like, a joke in a video. It's no good. Mystic Maya! Pearly? You showed up! Thanks for coming all this way! I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then, you came all by yourself? Yep. I snuck out of the manor and followed a map.
Don't tell me you walked all the way here.
Of course not. I ran.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. That's... I can't... Oh, my. If it takes 2 hours by train... Oh, man.
The question is, though, we're in Japan, so which train are we talking about? Because if we're talking Shinkansen, then, like, this girl walked for, like, probably 6 days straight. But, like, if this is, like, normal train, I don't know when the Shinkansen was built, though. Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? Is this child Inosuke?
I give up.
It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who is that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend.
Objection!
I still remember as though I'd seen him only yesterday.
Wrong voice, it's fine.
Objection!
Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end.
Objection! Objection!
It was always back and forth with them. But when you're rivals for life...
Maya, please don't mention that name ever again. Oh, wait. Was there an Applebee's 2? Was there an Applebee's 2 and Phoenix is now even saltier?
Huh? But why, Nick?
I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot. You don't know. He's gone. And he's not coming back.
Not little Edgy. Not little Edge boy. Not little Edgeworth. As I'm, like, saying every, like, little, like, name that I can give him, I'm like, oh my gosh.
This is not what I want it to be. What?
Oh, wait a second. What's that supposed to mean?
Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway.
Nick?
I think I've been spoiled by this. It's fine. Let's go to court. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Again, are the prosecution and defense prepared?
It's weird that it's also the second one that, like, I'm curious, because this is a trilogy. If the second game in the trilogy,
Also, Maya is put on court.
because this is the second time in
2 Phoenix Wright games.
ironically, the only 2 Phoenix Wright games,
But the second court case has to do with Maya getting, like, put up on the defense. Just saying. What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct?
God, I want to give her like an Edison Scarlet voice, but I don't think my voice is capable of doing that. So we're going with Mia Fey 2.
Hold on, so she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma.
She doesn't look that German.
I am Franziska von Karman, the prodigy.
Did I say that right? I have no idea.
I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge!
I like her.
Revenge. This is about her father, Manfred von Karma. If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can. Yes! I'm very excited about this. I'm talking. If you interrupt me again, my whip will do the speaking for me.
How did they not take that when she had to go? Do they not have? I mean, I know it's on a metal detector, but you think they would take weapons when you come to the courtroom?
God, I really want to learn about like Japanese like court procedurals, because I'm like,
This has to just be for the sake of the video game. Like, this just has to be a shtick. But there's a part of me that is like, would they just not count the whip as being a part of like a weapon?
please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Ugh. Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, that's a better voice. We'll figure out Francisca's voice.
Prosecutor Von Karma, your opening statement, please. Those of Von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection.
Curly pop. Come on. Okay, here's the thing. I think it's partially shoulder pads, but why does it remind, like, her arms remind me of, like, Frankie from One Piece? I don't know why.
The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor. Does the defense to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm still very curious. Would we be able to get away with an insanity plea? I'm just curious.
Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running from the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense. A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but... The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Could we do... Again, I'm just curious if we could actually do an insanity plea.
Because to plead justified self-defense, I can speak, is to say you did kill someone. Ah, why is she? I love a theatrical person. I love whenever anyone gets theatrical. And I'm like, I am here for it. How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Wright, then I shall now call the first witness. I love a theatrical bitch. And I mean this with like my favorite like anime character probably of all time, Dabi from My Hero Academia. If you know what I mean by Dabi's dance, you 1000% know what I mean when I say I love a theatrical bitch. She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Witness, your name and occupation. Yes, sir. My name's Dick-Shu. I'm a detective at the local precinct. God, every time I try to go for like 20s kappa, it ends up going a little bit too country. It's fine. Ah, get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone please look at the map. The channeling chamber has no windows, and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, the only victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. And that's when they found the victim was already dead, correct? Oh, and that's when they found the victim was already dead, correct? I can talk occasionally. I believe this is one of the most openest cases I've ever presided over. But there was a gunshot in the paneling, which was behind Maya. So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time, then. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish off the victim after the stabbing. But there was no knife found, right? So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. The court accepts this into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question a witness. That's what... Okay. Because we know about the shot. Hold on. There's a couple things that I want to point out. This shot in the folding screen, which was behind Maya. Yeah, because the folding screen is behind Maya. But there's also no knife wound. I want to press this because he did say... I'm going to press this first because... Stabbed? And what was he stabbed with? Fruit knife. I see. Whose fruit knife was it? Looks like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course, my face fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? Ugh. This does not look good. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Wound was severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. Okay. Why wouldn't she just stab him again? I'm gonna press this. The murder... Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now why would he have... Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point is that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start. Fingerprints. There were fingerprints? Along with the victims. The defendant, Maya Faye's, were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on a murder weapon. I walked into her hands. I did not want to focus on the fact that the pistol was his because that obviously makes sense. My question is there were several gunshots heard but there was only one shot to the face, which means it had to have been shot several times prior. But that's not in his thing.
Hold it!
Some point blank. Anywhere 10 to 20 inches away. And how do you know who shot at point blank? Mr. Phoenix, right? I grow tired of the foolish foolery of this foolish fool of this foolish country. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around a bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire. That gets real hot. Ow. There were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Okay. So we got the stabbing. Again, here's what I'm going to say. Why would she then choose to pick up the gun and shoot when she's already stabbed him? She had enough of a chance, right? How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. Again, why would she then shoot? Testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill.
Hold it!
Let me push this. Are you sure he was stabbed first then shot? Yep, sure can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal. Is it with the blood? Because, like, I think it's something like whatever has the least amount of blood. I'm not sure. A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Yeah, but like if you aim it wrong. I don't know. I don't know too much about ballistics. Does it matter then which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. What a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Very well, the court accepts them into evidence. So we have... Wait, hold on. One of those said 2. There were 2 shots. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them. Huh. This does seem like an open and shut case. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to this extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there? No, wait, hold on. We had something that said 2 bullet shots. We have only accounted for 1 because if there were 2 shots fired, where's the second bullet? You got the answer to that, Bon Karma? Yes. Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See? Just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. We are still pleading not guilty. If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We have 2 big things. First of all, there's a second gunshot. It's proven in the gun. We have the bullet. He shot at her first. Ooh. I don't understand why Maya had the knife, though. I don't know if she did. Like, he could have easily picked that up, right? We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective. Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike. Yes, sir. Now, see here, proceedings are run by... yes, of course. Go ahead, Detective, give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. We still have the idea that he shot first, because we have at least 2 gunshots. And I don't know how soundproof it is, but I feel like we would have heard the ah of him getting stabbed. Just saying. Sorry, pal. There's even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without doubt, was not fighting back. Y'all literally have the entire idea of 2 gunshots. 2. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a backspray of blood on this. This piece directly links Maya fate to the crime. We know it's Maya. We never said it won't. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatter on her clothes. We know the blood splatter was there. Could this situation get any worse? What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to soak off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I really do enjoy her. She's such a fun character. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Okay. I have a theory. So if the channeling worked, because again, if that knife was just like a fruit knife lying around the house, like anyone could go and pick it up. So if he comes in with it, like he would know as a doctor. And like if the nurse wanted to kill him, she would have known in Maya's body. Like we're gonna fully believe, we're going with that. Whether or not Von Karma and the judge or anyone else believes it. Under the possession of that nurse, the nurse would know where the heart is, and so would the doctor. So the doctor could have stabbed himself. Maya, as the nurse, being, you know, just full in nurse mode, regardless of the fact that this man's a piece of shit who killed her, you know, could have possibly went to remove it to either help him or to hasten the speed of it. Because usually when you get stabbed or anything like that, you get like an arrow through yourself. The best thing to do is to not remove it until you are patching it up, because then it is, in theory, blocking some of the blood flow leaving. Again, we're also all in video game talk, so I could be like, none of this could be like, no, we weren't focused on that at all. But anyways, like, gone to pull it, or he shot, missed, and then that could have been used as self-defense. Because my thing is Maya did believe he was innocent. So why would she have gone in with a weapon if she believed he was innocent? Why would she have gone in the first place if she thought that he was guilty with any reason to bring a weapon in? I fully believe that he brought in both with the idea of getting rid of this spirit and also hoping to kill the nurse. I feel like the sister, Eenie Meenie, has something to do with it, but I can't figure out what. That's just my theory. The costume, covered in blood. Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. Okay. I'm not gonna doubt that, I'm not gonna doubt that. I'm gonna push this. He wasn't fighting back. How do you know if he was or wasn't? And we can find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstance around this murder changed drastically. We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back, which is the gunshot. Okay, now my question is, because this is 2, so I don't know if we'd show that first, or if we show the folding screen. I kind of want to show this because it does say 2 shots fired. And then it's like, well, where did the second bullet go? And it's in here. That's my theory. Okay, so I was wrong. You don't show the gun first. We're gonna show the folding screen first.
Objection!
Or at least show that. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are the evidence in the statement just not related? They aren't. Wait, what? But we can't. Hold on. Okay, so we don't do this yet. Press here. I had to look it up. This blood on the costume. Lab results show that it's the victim's blood. So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues that you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well...
Objection!
If you must change the topic, then give the detective here... Then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad. Not enough time. Let's move on. Yes. Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. And if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? We're gonna press further, because that's what you always do. You press further. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. Oh, there's a gun. Oh! There's a gunshot in it, which that wouldn't have been from her shooting. So he shot at like part of her robe. Ah! I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to pull a hole in him. Looks like my time is up. So, about the costume. Your Honor? Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you're talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. This is gunshot. There's a whole ass gunshot.
Take that!
I hope that's it. I hope that's the spot. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of the costume. The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. A hole? That wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Hey, gunpowder? No one ever told me. Oh, that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I found a hole that was... Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that this must be a bullet hole. Order, order, order. This is a very grave matter. Best we correct the court record first before anything else. Press the check button for details. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That, just now, was a fluke. Nothing more. See, at least she's like somewhat like, you know, like she's girl bossing, but at least she's just like, you know what? You're doing great out there. You get a little gold sticker. Not as big as the ones that I get, but like a tiny one.
Objection!
How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. Well, I agree this is a mistake on the part of police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way. Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. Okay. Now do we do this?
Hold it!
Can we press this now? Okay. Okay, we have the proof. My thing, I'm just not sure. Okay, so it has the bullet hole. Here's my thing. I'm not sure if the folding screen or the gun is the one that we need to do first. Okay. Oh, before I forget, my low point was before I did the folding screen the first time, so sorry about that. But let's now present Maya's costume. Because here's the thing, is if there's a bullet wound then coming from that, there's no way she would have shot that herself, which means that he fought back.
Objection!
Also, that would make sense why the gun is there in the first place. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes? Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back.
Yeah, I did.
Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean?
What does it mean?
I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is that what it means to not fight back? Also, again, he fired twice. There were multiple gunshots heard. We only have one bullet in account. Like, I get it. You're like, murderer is standing there in blood. Like, no one else could get in the room. Like, that makes sense. God, why is it always like shoddy police work that gets Maya in prison? Every time.
You're right.
Seems you were correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Also, too, how would she know that he had a gun on him? It was his gun. He would have had to have pulled it out at some point. Like, I'm just saying. Alright, the winds seem to be shifting. What is with that? Are you finished yet? Laugh. Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Miss Von Karma? It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty.
Now that you...
Why, that's right. Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. Oh. Well, yes, it's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we required. Added in, of course.
Huh? You mean by myself?
You want me to put together the scenario all by myself?
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.